Welcome to the Soul Train Express. Before we start, I have a quick message for you. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number 1, it's free. What? Yes, it is. Number 2, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone. Yes. Number 3, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast. What? Yes, you can. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, y'all. Now it's time to get some daily encouragement from the Soul Train Express. Hey fam, welcome to the Soul Train Express. I am Chelsea J, and it is True Talk Tuesday. Last week we talked about love and joy. This week we are focusing on kindness and patience. I hope you tuned in on Monday with Mama J, who expresses the power of kindness. But today we are going to talk about patience. If this brings value to you, please share down the track and tune in daily for encouragement. Patience. Waiting. I don't know about y'all, but I do not like to wait, especially in the line at the grocery store. I am finally ready to check out. And of course, the cashier decides to shut down a few of the checkout lanes, leaving 3 cashiers open. And of course, everyone happens to be done shopping the same time I am. I walk to each register, right, to check out the shortest line. And of course, they're all packed and everyone has piles of groceries. I only have 3 items. And I have a lady with 2 carts in front of me and a baby crying behind me. Has anyone ever gone through this pain? Patience. You know, another thing I'm tired of waiting for, that my ladies can give a quick shout out about, is waiting for marriage. It's like everyone else around you is getting married, walking down the aisle, in a relationship, and you can't even get one man to look at you. Whew. Patience. But let's talk about it. Some of you have been waiting for years, and some it may feel like years. We hear sayings like, in God's timing, your man will come, or you are still young, you got time, or focus on you, marriage ain't everything. Although those statements may have a level of truth, there is still this aching in your heart that longs for this unity, that longs for this beautiful, unconditional love that you may dream about. Marriage is beautiful, but what is occurring in this culture is that we no longer see the beauty of marriage. We no longer see it as sacred and sacrificial, but we're beginning to see it as an image of pain, as being tied down and heartbreak. So what does our culture do? We decide not to wait for the benefits and intimacy of marriage. Instead, we either settle for the next best or we choose to give up ourselves for moments of pleasure. Statistics show from USA Facts that in 1949, 78% of all households contained married couples. 70 years later, in 2019, 48% of households have married couples. There has also been an increase of single-person households from 7 million to 36 million. And the divorce rate has increased from 6% of men to 8% of men in 2019. And for women, 9% to 11%. Wow. Can you see the shift of the culture? Can you see the impact of being impatient? Let me get deep real quick, because I believe a lot of us think if the culture changes, then our values, beliefs, and worldview must adapt. We are not called to conform to the culture. We are called to transform it. Just because movies, celebrities, and professors say something is acceptable does not mean we need to follow it. They and we are human with a level of authority and limited understanding. But we are not God. God has the ultimate sovereign authority and is all-knowing. Choose who you will serve and search for the truth. Now let me get even deeper. We are currently fighting a spiritual battle. There are demonic forces that are trying to keep us bound by false teachings, and there are specific demons that want us to succumb to impurity. Satan utilizes culture by promoting that sex is recreational, and if you seek pleasure, it is okay. This mindset has been pushed down from adults to now children. Therefore, we begin to conform and believe that sex was created by man and not by God. God says in Genesis 1:27 to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Therefore, the Bible speaks positive about sex within the context of marriage, the way God intended it to be. Why? Because sex was designed as a spiritual and relational bond and not just a biological reality. It is a fusion of souls. Satan's strategy here is to infiltrate the spirit of fornication. Satan is trying to take our men by perversion and pornography, which distorts their reality and their inability to lead sober-minded. Satan tries to take women through lust, seduction, and child sacrifice, which is abortion, to limit our purpose, our destiny, and calling on this earth. We as women were created to bring life, while men were created to cultivate the life. We were meant to be a team, but Satan has strategically found a way to separate us by keeping men with men and women with women, eliminating life and cultivation. Just think of how the culture has shifted, and we are all in this spiritual warfare. The more sin we commit, the more empowered Satan becomes, which leads to more shifting of culture, away from God and more towards Satan. Now that may have seemed intense, but it is True Talk Tuesday, and I have to lead you all in love and in truth. And the greatest thing I love about Jesus is that he is patiently waiting for us to come to him and will give us the power to overcome sin. You may have gotten caught up with culture and was tired of waiting, but Jesus was and is with you during the tough times, the sad times, and the impatient times. He is standing with open arms. Reality is real, but Jesus is greater. If you feel that you have been impatient during the waiting and wanted some ease and pleasure, know that Jesus forgives and still loves you. And here are some questions to reflect on today to help you redirect your thoughts back to Jesus and help when you are impatient. Is my value, my worth, my identity rooted in sexuality, or is all of life sacred and precious? Where does my worth and value lie? What am I truly seeking? Happiness, love, fulfillment? The Bible expresses in 1 Corinthians 3:16 that our bodies are God's temples. This emphasizes the sacredness and the love God has for us. He sees that your body isn't for everyone to see and grab. Do you see your body the way that God does? In his image? Lastly, the toughest time is at night, when you want to Netflix and chill. And if you can't handle it and your thoughts are leading you away towards your values and beliefs, then find a positive replacement to turn to. Ask yourself, do you have control of your emotions? Should you avoid being alone with this person? Can you handle this situation? Can you resist? Why do you feel alone right now? Should you call or text this person? Are you being an example of Jesus in this situation? Who can you call to hold you accountable when you are struggling? Don't slide in the DMs, y'all. These are tough questions to address, and you may need some time to reflect, but they will help you handle your emotions by thinking objectively. Waiting is hard in a microwave society, but once we understand why it is worth the wait, how sacred our bodies are, where our identity lies, and the love Jesus has for us, we can begin to be content in all things. Here's a train of thought. Ultimately, coming to know Jesus and trusting Jesus with our sexuality, however countercultural that might be, is the path to human flourishing and fulfillment. Amy Ori. Remember, don't slide in the DMs.
Don't you slide in the